thank you to Najiba Wazifadost and Asia Pacific Network of Refugees and the Refugee Leadership Alliance for making this all happen. And my particular thanks to Najiba for being such a wonderful teacher and mentor and teaching me personally how to be a useful ally to people who are seeking to use their lived experience to lead. I'd also like to acknowledge those of us who might have, might be the children or grandchildren of refugees or migrants, and note that their stories mean so much to all of us, but that those of us without lived experience are simply not qualified to make the decisions that those of you with lived experience are making about your lives. And I really applaud this moment and this opportunity to really resource you properly to do what you need to do. Thank you to the donors in the room who have supported this alliance. It just means such a great deal that you're showing leadership by kind of stepping back and allowing and making space for a refugee-led organisation to fund other refugee-led organisations. It's a hugely meaningful expression of refugee leadership and wonderful to be a part of. Najiba Wazifadost, I'd like to hand over to you. You're known to, I think, all the 76 participants in this call as the co-founder and leader of Asia Pacific Network of Refugees. Thanks, Najiba.
Thank you very much, Anna, and for allowing me the opportunity to address our esteemed guests, but also the big audience that are part of this award ceremony. I have to say I'm quite excited, to be here with you all today. And it's the first time that I actually get nervous coming and speaking about in an event, and that actually indicates how much excitement is actually running in me right now, considering that, a dream has come into reality. It's something that I dreamed many years ago, that, refugees and refugee-led organization be able to support and fund other refugees. It was, once upon a time, it was a dream to come true. And today that has happened into a reality. And I'm really thankful again, and to echo Anna's word, to our allies, especially to donors in the room, the Portuguese, the Open Society Foundation, Asylum Seekers Resources Center, to really support this dream to come true for many of us who you're going to hear very soon in this event. I also would like to acknowledge and thank my colleague Arash for such beautiful, musical instrument that he played. It really gave that warm, welcoming, to everybody. It was quite positive to start with that, considering how excited I was, at least myself. So Arash is an asylum seeker based in Indonesia, and he's been trying to, raise his voice through music. And he has been quite innovative in doing that, and all of you have just witnessed, his skills in doing that so beautifully. So thank you so much, Arash, for being here with us today, and for playing such a beautiful guitar. And we're looking forward to hear more on that. I would also like to extend, a heartfelt welcome to everyone who's in this room today, to our refugee communities, to our refugee leaders, to our refugee-led organizations, but more importantly, expressing profound gratitude once again, to our donors, Michael Peller from Open Society Foundation, Tien Huen from Portuguese, Con, and I'm not going to pronounce your last name because I'm so bad at that, from ASRC, as well as Dr. Linda Bartolome from University of New South Wales, and Naomi Steer, who each and every one of them, I can imagine how busy you all are, but you have made this a priority in your schedule, and you're with us today to celebrate this significant ceremony, which really took us quite a number of years to get here. So we are very grateful for your support and patience as well for the general audience. I know you all have been waiting for this day to happen, and for many of you, it has just been considered as an impossible dream, just similar to me. And I'm happy that you've been patient, and you are here today with us for this particular event. So as Anna mentioned, my name is Najiba. I am the co-founder of the Asia Pacific Network of Refugees. And it has been a pleasure working working with many of you in the region to be able to convene this initiative named Refugee Leadership Alliance, and more importantly, to work on a pooled fund that could support, that could bring sustainability to the work of grassroots organizations. Today, we have gathered to celebrate the exceptional refugee-led organizations and initiatives that will be, or most likely be, the first time that they're going to be the recipients of grants from refugee-led organization, and that is APNO, the Asia Pacific Network of Refugees. So indeed, it's a very critical step in the journey that APNO has taken, that have been on for years. It's the first time that we try to act, or we are kind of considered to be a donor in providing fundings to other refugee-led organizations. And I feel like it has been such an extraordinary experience for myself and my colleagues, Thomas, Mukhtar, Msume, and many others, who have supported this journey, because not only we've learned so much by being a refugee-led donor, but also we had so much to contribute to our recipients, considering that we understood the similar, we understood the circumstances and the situation that each and everyone was going through in different contexts. So we are very committed to addressing the significant funding gaps that exist, for refugee-led organizations and initiatives in the region. And this ceremony itself is going to represent a crucial milestone in that endeavor. So throughout this journey, we have upheld the principle of participation. We have heavily tried to involve refugee-led organizations, in shaping our grants tools. When we actually tried to convene the refugee pilot, the pool funding for APNO, for Refugee Leadership Alliance, something that we did realize instantly is that how do we ensure that the grants tools that APNO is going to create for this fund is actually embedded within the voices of people with lived experience. So what we try to do throughout the process, we interviewed many of you who could be in the room today to ensure that, our grants process are participatory, to ensure that, your voices are actually included within those decision-making power that we uphold as a donor as well. And through that, we were able to cross-exchange a lot of learnings with donors like Portuguese, with donors like OSF, and many others through the globe, just to ensure that, while they're trying to make bigger grants to bigger RLOs, they also, consider some of the learnings that we have come across by, putting together this pilot pool funding through the Refugee Leadership Alliance. I can talk so much about the actual process. I can talk so much about, the successful RLOs, and I'm sure you're all going to hear very soon from our speakers around the great work, the great impact that each of these grants recipients are going to bring in the next 1 year. But what I want to focus is more around the unsuccessful refugee-led organizations. We had more than 100 applications coming to APNO's pilot pool funding. It was very, very exciting for us to receive such a big number of applications. But then at the same time, it was a very, very difficult time for the Board of Trustees for the Refugee Leadership Alliance, which is made up of people with lived experience as well, to actually go through those amazing applications, and had to refuse some of those applications based on numbers of reasons. One, we had only a small amount of funding available that we could only provide to certain RLOs, and we had to prioritize, our selection process. And at the same time, there were other possible reasons which indicated, for the further support that APNO could provide to certain organizations in improving their capacities to become much more prepared in receiving grants in the future. So what I'm trying to get at is that we're not going to leave you alone. We know that there is almost 70 above refugee-led organizations that are going to receive emails immediately after this grants award ceremony to really schedule times with each of you one-to-one, and to really discuss, in providing further support to prepare you to become grant recipients, not only for APNO's future funding rounds, but also for other donors as well. So please, if you're not part of the successful refugee-led organization list, do not be be disappointed. Do not be upset. This is just the start of the journey. We are going to schedule calls. We are going to talk to you more individually to, tailor supports that we could, to tailor supports around your needs so that you are prepared for next year's round, and also that you're able to receive funds from other donors that are also supporting the work of refugee-led organization. So with that, I would like to say this is just the beginning. We are looking forward to contributing our work with refugee-led organizations and supporting those who are not only able to receive funding in this round, but also able to receive further funds from wider donors. So we don't want to be a gatekeeper. We want to make sure that there is, much more relationship building for each of the refugee-led organizations, with many other donors. We remain committed to achieving our ambitious targets, at least for this fund, and sharing more information, for the future funds as we move forward. So in closing, I would like to express my deepest appreciations again for our partners, supporters, and donors, as well as our moderator, Anna Demont. She's been a key player in making this initiative happen. We've had other people like Anna Crowley, who used to work for Open Society Foundation as well, who was another, a champion in ensuring that, we had this revolutionary change when we talked about funding, when we talk about aid, and we couldn't have done it, with the support of partners and donors and key individuals like Anna Demont and Anna Crowley, who have been instrumental in enabling us to reach at this stage of the journey. So today is a celebration of collaboration. It's a celebration of partnership. It's a celebration of the tireless work that all refugee-led organizations in the Asia-Pacific region have done. So thank you again so much for being part of this event today with us, and we're looking forward to contributing this journey together. So to you back, Anna. Thank you.
Thank you, Najiba. They're really wonderful words. And I think you're absolutely right. This is a cause for celebration. We were going to be listening to some more of Arash Shamfar's music. Sorry, Arash, I fumbled your name, but not the spirit with which I said that is not represented in the way I said it. But what we will do now is actually move into the award presentation, and I urge you all to stay around and listen to Arash afterwards. Arash, I think we'll listen to you at the end. So please, everyone, stay around and listen to Arash at the end. What we're going to do now is have the awards presentation. So I'm delighted to introduce Tian from Porticus Foundation, who will be presenting first. Tian, could you give us a few words about what it was, Tian Hui-Wun, could you give us some words about why Porticus decided to back this initiative?
Right. Yeah, so I think for us at Porticus, we recognize that refugees are often the frontline responders in different various crises that happens within their communities. And we notice that it is the refugee-led organizations or initiatives who are trying to fill some of the gaps when service providers or other actors within the refugee response system who are unable to provide for their needs. So through Refugee Leadership Alliance, we really want to value and continue supporting the leadership of refugees, whether it's in terms of meeting the needs of refugee communities, whether it's in terms of identifying certain trends that happen, and then coming out with community-based solutions to address these needs and these issues. So with that, should I just continue on to begin the list of presenting the grant recipients? We have ELOM initiatives with their project title, ELOM Academy. So if ELOM initiatives, anyone from there would like to say a word or two, you could do so now. If not, we will continue on with the list. Okay.
I just couldn't know how to open the mic. Hi, everyone. I'm Sujauddin. I'm actually from a Rohingya background. I lived in Malaysia as a refugee before, and then I got resettlement in Australia. Since then, I came back to Malaysia to support education. Many have to say a lot, I suppose, but since 2001, I have been working in Malaysia as supporting refugees, including lobbying with UNHCR for recognizing refugees' situations and for education as well. And today, you have to acknowledge all of us here who's gathered here, who can speak in English, who are doing something is purely because they have had some access to education. In our case, particularly in the Rohingya case, many of us has known about 80% of our population is illiterate. And in Malaysia, particularly, we don't have a lot of access to education. That's why I-to-RLO initiative is very much focused all the energy in educating not only those who are an adult, but also the children have good education. And from last 25 years of struggles in this area, I can say this is the first time actually we receive a refugee-led organization supporting other refugee organization. And it is a groundbreaking. I cannot stress enough how important it was, and it's especially when I first initially received the invitation for the grant application. And I hope this will continue. I know there are many other refugees, as Najiba had just mentioned, who are doing everything they can to support their little community, to support in ways that they can. And of course, not only in Malaysia, but in a lot of other countries, including Australia, that I'm a citizen of now, community-based organizations are struggling with funding. And I hope with this award, we will make a difference. And, we are hoping that more of this support will come. And I would like to offer my support to UP-NOR and anybody else in this kind of initiative. Please count me in to do whatever I can. I will be supportive. And lastly, thank you very much for everyone who come here to make this happen. And thank you for UP-NOR and Podcast for doing this. Thank you.
Yeah, and before I move on, I would also like to mention that for I-to-RLO initiatives, the funding amount that has been awarded to them is 20,000 Australian dollars. And perhaps as it may have already been mentioned, but this project will basically support 700 over refugee children of school age above 6 years old within the neighborhood in Kuala Lumpur, and of which a large majority do not have access to education. So to answer that need, I-to-RLO will now open a new program, which is the I-to-RLO Academy, and the title of this project, which aims to provide access to quality primary education to 100 refugee children aged 5 to 16 years old in Selayang, Kuala Lumpur, through a tailored curriculum adapted to their specific needs. So these funds from the grant will help them to sustain their community teachers and also ensure that they have a fair salary and provide ongoing training throughout the year to build their capacity. These resources will also contribute to the development and the delivery of their ongoing youth empowerment program. So with that, I will continue on to mention the second group, Philippine Arab Cooperation Council, with their project title of Organizational Capacity Building. And they have received an amount of 15,000 Australian dollars. A little bit about this organization is that they are a non-stock and non-profit association of men and women from various professions and disciplines dedicated exclusively to serving humanitarian concerns of the Filipino-Arabic community in the Philippines, particularly indigenous children and adults in need of care and support by providing appropriate financial, medical, legal, and educational assistance. So their project will basically support the organizational development of this organization and also will increase the awareness of refugee-led organizations or initiatives that is in the Philippines. I'll now pause and see if Philippine Arab Cooperation Council would like to say a few words.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. And first of all, I am very, very grateful and thankful to UPNOR for granting us this fund. It's really, it is very helpful. We are a refugee-led organization, and we are the only refugee-led organization in the Philippines. Before we were serving only the Arab community. Now we are serving all refugees and asylum seekers from all nationalities, regardless of their nationality or religion or race. So we are servicing everyone. We are now running a big project for the development of the refugees. This is empowerment for women and refugee youth in the Philippines, and we teach them computer skills, and we teach them Filipino language, English language, and we teach them also skills training, like those who want to become, for example, electrician or mechanic or anything, so that they can become self-reliant on themselves, self-reliant. And we have our project. It is from Voice Global. It's based in Netherlands. However, the funder for us is only a project funder, so they are not core funder. We really needed this budget so that we can improve the organization as an organization, not only for the project. And we are very grateful to UPNOR and to all the donors as well who supported this project. Thank you very much.
Congratulations and wishing you the best. I'll pass my time now.
Thank you so much, Tian. It was really wonderful to meet the people who are receiving those grants and to hear a little bit of insight into how you came to support this project as well, Tian, through Porticus. We were to hear from Michael from Open Societies Foundation, but just a live switch now because I believe Con Karaparagiotidis from Asylum Seeker Resource Centre is only with us for a short time, but a good time. So Con, over to you to present on some more of the recipients.
Thank you so much, Anna. And I might start by just saying how proud the Asylum Seeker Resource Centre is to support the work of UPNOR and to be one of the founding funders of this incredible initiative. The Asylum Seeker Resource Centre is lending our support because it is long overdue that it is refugees that are at the front of our movement. It is refugees who save their own lives. It is refugees who find ways to cross the most extraordinary seas and lands to save their families from persecution. It is refugees that resist and protest and stand for freedom. It is refugees in times of humanitarian crisis that are the first to support their own communities and to mobilize. And refugee communities and refugee leaders do it better, faster, and more effectively than traditional non-for-profits. And one of the things that we're excited about in actually standing for our values is going, you cannot have a refugee sector or a refugee movement without refugees being at the table as equals, with equity and with a genuine voice and representation. I am simply humbled and in extraordinary awe of the incredible work that so many of you are doing, helping hundreds of thousands of people across so many different parts of our great global community. And I'm just so honored that our organization can play a small part in supporting the extraordinary leaders and extraordinary work that you do. So again, a thank you to UPNOR, to Najiba, to Anna for all their work in bringing us together. And it's going to be my honor to share with you some of the extraordinary organizations that are recipients of these grants. The first one is Refugee Action for Change, REACT in Malaysia. What an incredible organization. An advocacy group comprising of refugee communities from across Malaysia who aim to advocate for refugee rights, education, healthcare, and work. With a $10,218 grant, they're going to be doing amazing work centering the voices of refugees, supporting refugee leaders to be more self-reliant, confident, and equipped as advocates, building stronger relationships with local and refugee communities, and ensuring that refugee leaders are critically united together with a shared goal from various nationalities, ethnicities, and identities. What an extraordinary organization. Could I please have someone from Refugee Action for Change, REACT from Malaysia, share a few words about their work and what this grant means to them?
Yes, thank you, Khan. So I'm Daffer Saif. All right. First of all, let me extend my thankful to APNOR, and it's not only for the financial support that we have received and from all the donors, but actually also for the unlimited support that we are always receiving from them in different aspects. And finally, before I start to tell you about REACT, it's about actually building this community where we are today. So actually what's REACT is, REACT is a unique refugee-led advocacy group in Malaysia, working
Everyone
to
else, please
for
mute
the rights.
themselves. Sorry, Daffer, just a moment. Could everyone else please mute themselves, please?
All right, thank you. Okay, so Refugee Action for Change, actually, it's a unique refugee-led advocacy group in Malaysia, working to advocate for the rights refugee in Malaysia. And we are actually established in 2019 for the means of refugee to address the pressing issues of our community. So our ambition is actually to advocate for the rights of refugee, for education, healthcare, and working rights. And that's about our mission. But when it comes to our vision, it's actually the legal recognition of these refugee rights. So recently, we've been facing several challenges in translating our ambition to reality through the support of the Refugee Leadership Alliance Flexible Enabler Fund, separated by the Asia Pacific Network of Refugee. REACT will be able to operate with the required financial resource for the first time in 2023. So actually REACT is the only refugee-led advocacy group in Malaysia that's really unites the refugee leaders and representatives from different nationalities and ethnicities. And our main work actually to empower the community as advocate and provide training and awareness activities. And thank you so much.
Incredible work. Thank you so much for sharing about your amazing organization. It's my honor to share the next recipient, the incredible Karen Refugee Community Education Entity, KRCEE. Based in Thailand, they're receiving $13,695. And they do, again, incredible work. Established in 2009, their aim is to serve and represent the Karen refugees temporarily sheltering across the Thai-Burma border through education services in areas of early childhood education, development, and tertiary education to refugee students and children. Currently, they serve an extraordinary 20,000 students and over 1,000 teachers in 48 schools in 7 Karen refugee camps. It would be my honor to have someone from this incredible organization talk a little bit about the importance of this grant and how will it further their incredible work.
Thank you so much for providing us with this opportunity. I may not speak much because there is a background as we are locating near the temple, and it's near closer to the water festival here. So you may hear a bit of a sound, but I just want to let you know that I'm very proud of this for the first time. I myself, as a refugee, was raised in refugee camp, and then I had a chance to study in the States, and then now I'm back for almost over 10 years, serving back refugees community and education. And I think of all my working experience here, this is the first time that one of the things that I'm proud of is because this initiative is supporting refugees, leaders who encourage them and motivate them and pretty much inspire them to pretty much continue what we believe in. And I'm very proud of APNOR, and thank you so much for providing us with this opportunity. And we hope to continue to work together in the future as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I think what is so clear from all the recipients that we're hearing from is just the work you are doing is world-leading practice. The work you are doing is some of the most incredible, impactful, and complex work that so much larger NGOs could only dream of doing. It's just extraordinary what you are achieving as a collective and as a movement. It's my honor to now introduce the third recipient that I'll be sharing, and that is the Arakan Rohingya Society for Peace and Human Rights based in Bangladesh. They're receiving $20,000 grant. Again, what an incredible organization. Founded in November 2017 in the Rohingya refugee camp in Bangladesh. It was founded by Rohingya refugees and includes representatives from 34 Rohingya refugee camps in the Cox's Bazar, including extension camps, Yukia, Cox's Bazar, Bangladesh. RASPPH was the first civil society organization in the world's largest refugee camp. It is working for peace in the Bangladesh refugee camp, and its mission is fighting for the Rohingya rights and justice. Just brilliant work. Would love to hear from someone from yet another incredible organization talking about the importance of this grant and the vision for their future.
Hi everyone, good evening. Thank you very much. This is Muhammad Nakim. I am the representative of ARSBH, Arakan Rohingya Society for Peace and Human Rights, and also a steering committee of APNOR, Asia Pacific Network of Refugees. And ARSBH is very honored for the APNOR for funding. This is the first time to receive the fund from the refugee-led organization to the refugee-led organization. So living in a refugee is definitely challenges. Despite these challenges, there are many activities of our youth have been trying to bring peace, social harmony within our community through the various ways. Many of us providing the educational activity and also provide the training to the empowerment to the both men and women. Some would also organize the sport event and entertainment for the brotherhood in our community. Basically, I want to emphasize that despite of the hardship that we have gone through, refugee youth are incredibly hardworking, promising. Most importantly, we are peace lover and peace builder. We understand and serious of the value of peace than anyone else in the world. Living in a refugee definitely challenges, but we work in various positive ways to bring best to our future and secure life for our community, especially to the Rohingya youth and children in the camp. The most problem we face in the refugee camps is to overcome for the legal support and legal assistance. This is the first time we have been receiving some resources from the APNOR, and we are very glad and honored to receive this one. Thank you very much.
And thank you, Mohammed, and thank you for the incredible work that your organization does. Again, a brilliant example of innovation, of working through incredible challenges and having such an incredible impact. The next group, and my final group on my end, that is my absolute honor to have recognized today, is the Yemeni Refugee Union based in Malaysia. They're receiving $16,366. And again, another incredible organization. Their mission is to provide the best social and developmental services to the different segments of refugees efficiently and effectively through the empowerment of women and youth. For this, the Yemeni Refugee Union has certain key goals, providing members of the union with knowledge of their rights as refugees and their duties, demanding resettlement and pursuing it until it is achieved, improving the living conditions of union members by building capacity and providing refugees with the necessary skills to keep pace with the labour market, paying attention to youth and qualifying them in all aspects to be able to compete in the labour market, and giving people with special needs priority and care and rehabilitation. Could we please have someone from the wonderful Yemeni Refugee Union talk a bit further on their work and the importance of this grant? Thank you.
Okay. Hello, everyone here today. Dear all. It's an honor for me to be here today amongst you all, taking part of building lives of others and helping provide a brighter future. Actually, I'm Ahmad Mustafa, and today I would like to speak on behalf of the Yemeni Refugee Union plus I-to-RLO Development Foundation about the project that was provided and funded by the Asia Pacific Network. And we are grateful for their support. As you know, life as a refugee can be incredibly challenging, particularly for women. Yemen refugee women in Malaysia face numerous obstacles, including language barriers, cultural differences, and limited access to education and employment opportunities. It is with these challenges in mind that Yemeni Refugee Union, with the partnership with the I-to-RLO Development Foundation, bring together to launch a rehabilitation project for Yemeni refugee women in Malaysia. The project aims to provide these women with the necessary skills and support to rebuild their lives and integrate into Malaysian society. The project will focus on 3 key areas: sewing, computer skills, hairdressing, and before that, we will give them some classes in English language. We are grateful to the Asia Pacific Network of Refugees for funding this project. Without their support, this vital work would not be possible and would not get success. Actually, in conclusion, the rehabilitation project for Yemeni refugee women in Malaysia is a critical initiative that will help to improve the lives of some of the most vulnerable members of society here among Yemeni refugees. We are committed to working towards a brighter future for the Yemeni refugee women and ensuring that they are able to rebuild their lives with dignity and respect. Thank you for you all for listening to me. Thank you so much.
And thank you for your beautiful words. And I just want to say some final words before handing back to our moderator. One of the things that really stands out is the incredible work you are doing in refugee camps, where so much of the global community looks to refugee camps as places to warehouse refugees and to turn their backs on refugees. You are doing collectively something so extraordinary. You are building a future. You are seeing the potential. You are lifting the capability. You are empowering people to know their rights, to have a vision that they can be anything and that they're not constricted by a label or by a moment in time. You are building the capability of self-reliance and self-determination and advocacy and impact. And I've never heard of more incredible work being done in supporting refugees than what I've just heard in the last hour. So again, it's been an absolute honor for the Asylum Seeker Resource Center to be one of the funders of this initiative. And we could not be prouder to be able to play our part and to be aligned to such incredible leaders and to such incredible change makers and to people that are impacting for the better the lives of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people. Every government across the world could learn from your example. And again, a huge thank you for your incredible work.
Thanks very much, Con, and for your words of enthusiasm and support for this initiative, not to mention the fact that you backed it as well early on. And Tian, also thank you for your words. Now we're going to hand over to Michael Palla, who's the Associate Director for Refugee Protection at OSF, and then we'll finish up with the wonderful Naomi Steer, who's now the on the UNHCR National Partners Standing Group. So over to you, Michael, and you do have until 6 p.m. Thanks.
Okay. Thanks, Anna, and thank you, everyone, especially Refugee Leadership Alliance and APNOR. If some of you were on the webinar about this opportunity previously, I just want to reiterate the point that I had made then, which is that working in this field to support refugee-led organizations, it's an area that requires donors to do something that they think is actually really difficult, and it's ceding power. And it's the perception that we hold that power in terms of providing resources and funds to support the wonderful work that you do. But I think that what we've come to understand, especially through this initiative, is that it's so important to give those resources and the people that are going to be stewards of those resources the opportunity to really participate in the decision making about how those resources are spent and how they're used. And so we believe at Open Society that people that are in proximity to the challenges that they face within their communities are the best place to address the needs of their communities. So we're really excited to be a part of this initiative, and we're excited to, and I'm excited to share the organizations that are the recipients of this first round of funding. So first, I want to mention the Hadaf organization, and their title project is Supporting Economic Empowerment for Afghan Women. They're going to be receiving $10,000 or 10,000 Australian dollars. And the project is intended to provide women with the skills they need and resources they need to earn a livelihood through sewing. And I just want to invite someone from Hadaf to speak if they're available.
Hello, everyone. I'm very, very excited to receive this grant. I would like to thank APNUR first and then Najiba for being such a big support to our communities here in Afghanistan. This grant will help many women to continue learning and still feel being part of the community there, while there is a lot of restrictions by Taliban. Thank you, APNUR, and all the donors involved for making this possible.
Thank you so much. Then the next, I'm going to be quick, and so sorry if the next organization is the Care for Displaced Children with a project by the same name. They'll be receiving 15,000 Australian dollars. And this is a project that will be supporting education and skills empowerment for displaced people in Indonesia. They'll be working with 125 children in 50 in kindergarten and 75 will be in school classes. And is there anyone from CDC who would like to share about their project and their organization?
Thank you, Mr. Mike, for giving me the floor. I am Nazani, the Communication Officer for CDC, Care the Displaced Children. It is a privilege for me and my colleagues at CDC who became a part of this great adventure under APNUR facilitation. Respected donors, Asylum Seeker Resources Center, which is a human rights organization that speaks out against injustice for refugees and people seeking asylum. Porticus, a philanthropic organization focused on creating a sustainable future where human dignity flourishes. Open Society Foundations, the world's largest private funder of independent groups working for justice, democratic governance, and human rights, which was founded by Mr. George Soros. And APNO, Asia Pacific Network of Refugees, which is one of the most activist organizations who covers aspects of refugees and asylum seekers in the region. We truly cannot thank you enough for your generous supports to our humanitarian project. Your support allows us to continue providing education, health services, and mental supports free of charge to the displaced children, youth, and adults residing around CDC in Bogor, Indonesia. To the most vulnerable forcibly displaced people who are coming from Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, Somalia, Ethiopia, and Eritrea, they're living in a country where they have no access to these services legally because Indonesia is not a signatory for 1951 Refugee Convention. At the Care the Displaced Children, a refugee-led organization, we really do hope this is the beginning of a long-time support, and we hope that you respected donors stand with us and support us so that we can provide education, healthcare, and mental support to the displaced community who are really in need. And they can have educated and healthy generation for the future of humanity. Once again, we, thousands of beneficiaries of this fund, would like to thank you and appreciate your generous support for this humanitarian project. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The next organization that we have is the State School for Refugee Community in Malaysia. They'll be receiving 20,000 Australian dollars to do a project related to supporting refugee students to enable them to further their studies in higher education, as well as building their capacity to the rest of the community and reducing illiteracy. So is there somebody from Safe School for Refugee Community that would like to come and speak?
Yes. Thank you very much for having me on the floor. At first, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. I don't like to say something more, but really I cannot express today how much emotionally because of the day that we were granted this great opportunity up to now. So on behalf of Service School for Refugee Communities, I highly appreciate this generous contribution from UMNOR and the rest of the donors. This contribution will go a long way within facilitating quality education for refugee children. This is the realization of the fourth SDG on quality education for all. So we are again reaffirming our commitment, accountability, deliver, as well as strategic partnership to take it to the next level. UMNOR is doing a tremendous work for the refugees through economic empowerment, social awareness, as well as advocacy. Indeed, UMNOR offers a lot that we can learn from. Once again, thank you for your progressive efforts in bettering the lives of refugee children globally. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And the last group that I'm presenting is the Kachin Refugee Committee, also in Malaysia, and they are working to support a number of initiatives related to healthcare and advocacy, and want to welcome somebody from the Kachin Refugee Committee to speak.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I am Patrick, and here's James. We are from Kachin Refugee Committee, based in Malaysia, and we are so excited, and we are so thankful to UMNOR and our donors. And Kachin Refugee have been around here since 15 years ago, and we Kachins are actually the victims of the world's longest civil war. The civil war has happened for more than 60 years, and we are one of the minorities from Myanmar. And we will be spending this grant on the security and medical healthcare service purposes. Just within last January, two of our members committed suicide. And also since there have been a military coup d'etat in Myanmar, not only Kachins, but also a lot of Myanmar nationals have been fleeing Myanmar and coming to Malaysia. And so our members have also become more than 6,000 6,000 members in Malaysia. And so we have a lot of undocumented members. And just within, during the military coup, so starting from 2021 until present, we have more than 2,000 members who are fleeing from Myanmar. So when they're here, they are not documented, and so they don't speak English or Malay language. So they are recognized as illegal migrants, or they are not legal here. So for the security reason, because they have no documents, police arrest them very often. So sometimes they are deported back to Myanmar. Just within last year, there were 30 to 40 members of us. They came here for asylum claim, but they were deported back to Myanmar. They were deported. They were forced to deport. And also just within last year, we had like 80 to 100 members who were arrested and detained by immigration officers here. So
just a note, I'm sorry to interrupt you. We are running a little short of time, but what I do understand is that UMNOR is committed to featuring your work and the work of others in webinars throughout the year. So there'll definitely be opportunities to hear more about your really important work. I think we're all really grateful to hear from you and really glad that you're now able to do even more work thanks to these the donors and APNOR. Mike, can I hand over to you for the next and final group that you have to announce?
Kachin was the final group, I believe. So just a warm congratulations to everyone, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. And over to you, Anna.
Thanks so very much. I did warn everyone I was going to be quite strict with timing, but we're only 6 minutes over. But what I'll do now is introduce you to Naomi Steert, who's with the UNHCR National Partners Standing Group, and of course is well known for really getting behind UNHCR and creating a quite incredible organisation herself. Naomi, over to you.
Thanks, Anna. Can you hear me? Yes, very good. Look, I just want to say up front, you know, I'm really humbled just by listening to all the groups and just, you know, our brothers from the Kachin group we just heard, which really just brings to the fore, you know, it's not just sort of about day-to-day issues, but life and death issues. So I really thank you all for sharing. And I've also found it very inspiring. I just had a few introductory observations I just wanted to make. And Sandra said I'm speaking here on behalf of some of my UNHCR colleagues and friends. But when I set up Australia for UNHCR 22 years ago, and my job was then to mobilise resources to support refugees, I think it would be fair to say it was in that relationship through UNHCR, sometimes quite a one-way relationship. It was our job to provide humanitarian assistance and refugees and displaced people to receive it. I'm happy to say that after 22 years, there is a significant change. I think looking at how organisations, including UNHCR and other advocacy groups, must work hand in hand with refugees and displaced people, and realising that, you know, refugees are certainly not just passive recipients or beneficiaries, I think, as we define them sometimes, but absolutely agents of their own lives. And that's been brought about through advocacy with, you know, some really fantastic people, many represented on this Zoom call today, and I think I saw Eileen Pittaway in the beginning, so shout out to Eileen, but also Linda, who's speaking after. It also, you know, I think that being said, you know, our job at UNHCR, and certainly in Australia for UNHCR, was to provide resources to help refugees and displaced people achieve, you know, what they could, you know, but making sure that it was people with lived experience who are in charge of making those decisions about priorities for their lives. And I think it's why these awards are so important, which really represented again through the many groups here, you know, that grassroots activity. And you can really see in the recipients the benefit and impact of these awards in sort of serving not only those immediate communities, but many more around them. I just wanted to finish my sort of final observation. The awards also highlight the importance of building and supporting and sustaining communities. And we know, you know, refugees often just have to come together when there are no other resources. But again, very inspiring to hear what every group is doing. And across the breadth of Asia Pacific, you know, Yemen, Bangladesh, Bangkok, Brisbane, Indonesia, Malaysia, and I think Afghanistan too. So I just wanted to wish everyone well and thank both the donors and all those organisations and the recipients, and of course, and APNOR in its amazing work. I'm going to go now just to announcing my fantastic awardees, and I think some are represented here, but the first is the Bangkok Urban Community Club. We should say Sawadee Ka to our friends in Bangkok. The Bangkok Urban Community Club is a refugee-led organisation which believes in bringing about lasting change through collaboration. The club is a place which has been established for everyone who wants to do their part to improve the lives of refugees and asylum seekers in Bangkok, where people can come together to share knowledge and offer encouragement as people have the capacity to grow as individuals. This particular initiative is aimed at promoting English language courses and computer literacy. And the funding for the award is $10,000. So if there's someone from the BUCC who would like to say a few words and talk about the impact of the project, please, you're very welcome to do so.
All right. Thank you so much. Noem, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. Yeah, this is Danish. I'm speaking from Bangkok. First of all, I would like to express my appreciation to the APNOR team for inviting me to this special event. I am very delighted to be here for this special event. So now I'm going to explain so briefly who we are and what benefits we can get from this fund. So today I joined here on behalf of Bangkok Urban Community Club, which is basically a refugee-led organization. We have education programs such as English language courses and computer literacy. Here we are talented refugees from different communities gathered together and create a team to support our fellow refugees and asylum seekers with our knowledge, skills, experiences. By sharing those, people get many benefits from it. But to continue such an amazing job, we need external support to keep doing well to save marginalized people. Every organization cannot trust us easily because of registration. And also we have many challenges. Our most important challenges are lack of funds,
I think we've lost you momentarily.
registration, bank account.
Oh,
and
you've come back.
Flexible enabler can with the help of the flexible enabler fund of APNOR, we can get many benefits. First, bring force for us to survive in this country where it's hard to find, and it creates a lot of opportunities for us to have more activities and provides better services. It enables us to hire more skillful people to make our service more standardized. By the end of each project, our students will be able to communicate in English fluently using computer skills for their daily basis needs, enable them to continue their education at advanced level, such as GED or university, and so on. So when they go to English countries, they won't face any challenges communicating in every areas of their life. Once again, many thanks for your invitation to special event. I am speaking on behalf of BCC team, and I would like to say many thanks to APNOR and its amazing team for supporting us. Thank you to the donors, and thank you to consider us for this fund. May God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you, Naomi.
Yeah.
Thank you. Just had those beautiful butterflies from Bangkok there, so probably much nicer than me in my pink. Now, to the second group that I have the honour of announcing the award, the Third Queer Culture 2QC, based in Brisbane, Australia. And they've been awarded $12,840 towards a specific project for the third Queer Cultures film screening documentary event. A little bit about the third Queer Culture. It's a newly established peer support and creative advocacy group for culturally diverse queer people who have an experience of seeking safety on the basis of sexual and gender identities. The group, which is based in Brisbane, Queensland, caters for culturally diverse queer people. The group members chose the name Third Queer Culture to reflect inclusivity of all LGBTIQ+ members who have a lived experience as refugees, people seeking asylum and migrants. And the project is to hold a documentary film screening that will both bring about awareness raising and hopefully funds, a lot of funds, to support the LGBTIQ communities' interactions with the asylum sector, as well as promoting greater protection for individuals' sexual and gender identities. I think if some of you saw, unfortunately, the representatives from the Third Queer Culture had to leave the awards a little bit early, but they passed on a message, which I will just read out now. They wanted to say how proud they are of refugee-led movements such as UPNOR, who leads the way in terms of supporting LGBTIQ+ asylum seekers and refugees. The grant will support the visibility of the community, but will also send an important message that the refugee sector is ready to support LGBTIQ+ and asylum seekers and refugees. Thank you so much for paving the way, they say, for other refugee organisations, and they very much look forward to working with UPNOR. Congratulations to all the other grant winners from Third Queer Culture. So congratulations again to QC. Now, the final group that I have is a wonderful group based in Indonesia, SMART, the Skilled Migrant and Refugee Technicians, and they've been awarded $19,893 for a project which is aimed at empowering refugees in Indonesia by providing services that include capacity building courses, public awareness on different issues and livelihood projects specifically for refugee artisans and women to learn, create and sell their products in the online market, an e-commerce platform built by SMART. And if I could invite someone from SMART, if you're here at the awards today, to just give a bit more about the project description and the impact that it will have. Thank you.
Thank you, Naomi, for giving me a chance to share a few words on behalf of SMART in this event. I'm Hakmat, a refugee originally from Afghanistan, been surviving in Indonesia since 2013. SMART's Skilled Migrant and Refugee Technicians, as a full name, was founded by a group of refugees back in 2020. We are aiming to empower refugees by running capacity building, upskilling project, different kind of projects for refugees. Like we run online courses for refugees or refugees in Indonesia, regardless of their nationality, gender, and race. So our classes are open for all refugees in Indonesia. Beside that, we had digital literacy and safety trainings for refugees and other awareness during the awareness program for refugees during the pandemic. Also, we create opportunity for the older refugees who are mostly women and who don't have high level of education to learn somewhere, but they are really good when it comes to creating some handicraft, different type of handicrafts. So basically, we focus on enhancing their skills, support them with creating some products, and we do the marketing and all the other works to sell the handicraft of refugees on different platforms we have created. And this will help the artisans, we say, to earn some basic livings while they are here for years and years living to get resettled. So in this opportunity, I want to deeply send my gratitude to the donors of this funding, ASRC, Porticus, and Open Society funding, for their generosity and support. Also Apnor and Najiba for all the hard work you have done for enabling this funding opportunity for RLOs to apply for this grant opportunity. We are incredibly grateful and honored to have been selected for this grant. Your decision and support will help our organization and means so much to us and to the refugees we serve. This is the first time actually we are receiving a grant, and I'm pretty sure this grant will have significant impact on our ability to provide essential services and support for refugees in Indonesia. So thank you, everyone. I'm really glad to hear this. Thank you.
Well, thanks very much, Naomi and Hazmat and all the other groups who've presented so far. It's just been a joyful experience hearing about your work. And we're going to hear from a few more. We've got until 6:30. We're on track. So next we have Dr. Linda Bartolomei, who is the co-convener of the Forced Migration Research Network at UNSW. Linda, over to you. And then shortly before 6, we will hear from Arash again, and then some closing comments. Shortly before 6:30, we'll hear from Arash again on the guitar and some closing comments from Najiba. So over to you, Linda.
Anna, thank you very much. And thank you, Najiba and the organisers, for inviting me to announce the grant recipients. Just a few brief reflections. I've been privileged for almost the last 25 years to have worked with many of the refugee communities who are represented in the call tonight. I know some of your organisations. I was thrilled to hear about the work that others are doing. And I think that picking up on Naomi's point about the change, the positive change we've seen, and the recognition by UNHCR, international NGOs, governments, that partnerships with refugees are essential. Partnership isn't possible without resources and without funding. Those of you who are living in urban refugee settings and in camps know far better than I what the barriers are. But without funding to engage with your communities, without funding to ensure that diverse voices of women, people with disabilities, LGBTIQ individuals are heard, without resources to go to meetings, to organise meetings, to provide refreshments, as some of you have talked about, participation is constantly prevented. Access to childcare for women, we know, is a huge barrier. So it's fantastic to see, as many of you have said, how important this APNOR funding is, because it's untied, it's flexible, it recognises that you know best what the needs are in your community to support engagement and participation and the diverse needs within your communities. So again, applauding this approach. I think it's a wonderful initiative, and I really look forward to hearing about how each of these projects unfold as your work develops. And I'll now pass on to the next award recipient, who are, next slide please, the Karen Women's Organisation, KWO, with whom I've had the privilege of working for many, many years, and who've taught me a great deal about genuine women-led work and the incredible power that women working together can have in the camps and indeed across Burma. So the Karen Women's Organisation in this project are targeting the needs of children and young people with a disability in the camps. And this long-standing organisation is going to be focusing on early intervention and care for 219 refugee children with disabilities and their families, supporting them through a network of learning centres, and also providing programming directly targeting those struggling with hearing impairments. and this project has been awarded 40,000 Australian dollars. Is there someone from KWO here who would like to briefly speak?
Linda, they have sent an apology.
Yes, I think the office is closed for the water festival. Okay. Congratulations again to KWO. And if I could now move on to the next group. Once again, a group in Bangladesh focused on capacity building for refugee Rohingya women through a literature and handicrafts project, which is designed to support women and girls' education and skill development. And this project has been awarded 2,000 Australian dollars. Congratulations. Is someone here from this group who'd like to speak?
Thank you, everyone. And thank you so much to the afternoon. So this, I want to say briefly. So this organization is basically trying to improve the Rohingya girls in education and skill development for livelihood in the camp. Rohingya women and girls are the most vulnerable everywhere. So therefore, they are becoming victims in many places. So we are trying to make them strong by literacy and handicap training so that they can stand on their feet and don't be victim again. And congratulations to everyone who have received the fund. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Ume Selma. Thank you so much, and best of luck with your excellent project. And the last project that I have the privilege of announcing is the Association of the Hazara Voices for Justice based in India. And this is a project focused on refugee skill development. This group have been awarded $19,940. And this association is founded in 2020, is focused on supporting the educational and vocational training needs of Hazara refugees in the community, focused on rights-based approach and inclusive approaches, and working to support and provide education and training, particularly in the area of hairdressing and beauty, where they've identified that there is currently a market at which those who are trained can earn a reasonable amount of money. So it'll provide opportunities for income for those who provide the training, and hopefully also opportunities for employment for those who participate in the training. So big congratulations. Is there someone from the association here who'd like to say a few words?
Yeah, hello everyone, and thank you so much for the very great opportunity that APNOR and the donors has provided us. We are beyond grateful, and I'm Sabria from Association of Hazara Voice for Justice. Our association, as you said, beside of working on capacity building for refugees, we also work for to advocate for Hazara refugees who are the most being discriminated community in Afghanistan, and we try to work for them and try to make some cultural programs, educational programs, and livelihood opportunities for them. We are really grateful for of APNOR and the donors who has given us this opportunity, and our team is committed to make this to use this opportunity as, in its best, and we'll try our best to make it as efficient as possible. Thank you so much.
Congratulations again to everyone. Thank you. Anna, back to you.
Thanks so much, Linda, and to everyone to this evening or early afternoon or whatever time it is for you. I'll hand over now to Najiba for some closing remarks, and then after that would encourage you all to stay around to hear some more of Arash's beautiful music, which I'm looking forward to.
Thank you. I would like to present this song as a to all of you, to be patient and hopeful. It's in fact, the name of this song is be patient.
Arash, actually, what we're going to do is Najeeba will do some closing remarks, and then we're going to stick around and relax and listen to your beautiful music. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anna. And I hate to take your place, Arash, because I love listening to you and the fantastic instrument that you're playing. I mean, I'm going to make my closing very short, considering you've gone so much over time, and I really do thank everyone for staying with us up until now. I mean, I was so excited and I was so overwhelmed hearing my colleagues from all around the region just stating about, you know, the importance of funding and how it's going to support, you know, the sustainability, the impact that they're already making on the ground with these grants. What I'm going to promise to all of our colleagues here that, you know, you're going to have much more opportunities and further platforms throughout the year that where you will be able to, you know, to get to know some of this fantastic refugee-led organization more. Obviously for us, ways forward is to ensure that there's more visibility to the work that these associations are doing, to these refugee-led organizations are doing, but more importantly, that we are able to showcase their impact. And I'm sure that, you know, many of you will be invited again to collaborate, to interact, to listen. But what I would like to do, just to once again, you know, give my warmest and congratulations to refugee-led organizations, including Safe School for Refugee Community Malaysia, the Rohingya Girls School Indonesia, Rohingya Student Network RSN, SMART, the Rohingya Union for Women Education and Development, Yemeni Refugee Education, the Association of Hazara United, the Third Queer Culture in Australia, Literature and Handicraft for Rohingya Women, and the ELOM Initiative, the Sisterhood, the Philippine Arab Cooperation Council, KWO, Karen Women Organization, the Refugee Action for Change, Malaysia, the CDC, Care for Displaced Children, Bangkok, Urban Community Club, Karen Refugee Committee, Education Entity, Arakan Rohingya Society for Peace and Human Rights, Afghan Women Empowerment Committee, Hadaf Foundation, and the Kitchen Refugee Committee. This is a list of you know, impactful, influential refugee leaders, as well as, you know, refugee-led organizations. There is so much that we could bring in today's event about speaking for hours around the fantastic work that each and every one of these organizations are doing, which really made us and pushed us to fund them, you know, to fund them and to ensure that, you know, their work is supported. Obviously, this ceremony was a real testimony, you know, to showcase the great work that refugee-led organizations are already doing, to showcase how uniquely positioned to address the complex challenges faced by the displaced communities, as they have a deep understanding of the issues and a direct connection to those affected. And this was clearly said by all of our speakers, from Naomi to Linda to Michael to Tien to Anna Demont and to Con. So by supporting these organizations, we are not only investing in the sustainable solutions, but we're also amplifying the voices and the agency of refugees themselves. So I am once again very, very proud to stand here today as we celebrate the incredible impact of refugee-led initiatives and organizations. And I want to express my deep and sincere appreciation again to Porticus, to Open Society Foundation, to Asylum Seekers Resources Center for really making this dream coming true. And as you heard by Salma, I think it's not only a dream for me that's coming to reality, but it's a dream for all of us. And without your support and without your faith and belief and without your trust, we wouldn't be able to do this today. So I really do thank you for your support to this vital work. And I also want to thank, you know, Naomi and Linda and Anna Demont, you know, for your continuous support, for your continuous and generous courage, you know, and championship around refugee participation, ensuring that the lived experience doesn't remain, you know, as a tokenistic engagement, but it actually goes to the core of the solution. So I thank you, Naomi, Linda, and Anna, for being a true, strong, you know, decade ally, for making this possible. Your presence here today sends a powerful message of solidarity and support to refugees everywhere. And I look forward to continuing this important work together. And lastly, I want to thank all my colleagues, you know, all the refugee-led organizations. And I know it's Ramadan. For some of you, Iftar has probably kicked in. I was trying to break my fast while I was sitting here today. So I want to thank you, for the great work that you're doing. It's not easy, but you're all doing it in such a true heroic manner. And I, applaud you for the work that you're doing. And I'm really, really glad that APNOR was able to become a collaborator for this challenging journey that you have ahead. So thank you for being here with us today. I hope you will continue to join us in supporting and inspiring the work of refugee-led initiatives in the years to come. And I also give my last promise and re-emphasize for those of you that haven't had the opportunity to be one of our grant recipients in this round of APNOR, that we'll promise will come back to you for the years around. And we'll promise that we will work with you side by side to ensure that, there are support and resources channeling towards your organizations as well. So thank you so much, Anna, for moderating today's session. And I want to thank my colleagues, Thomas, who most of the refugee-led organizations know, Mukhtar, these two amazing and fantastic people, as well as Masuma, have done a great amount of job, behind the scene to make today's event possible, but also to ensure that most of you who were actually announced as successful grant recipients are here today and able to continue the work that you do. So thank you, Thomas, thank you, Masuma, and thank you, Mukhtar, as well. And I'm going to pass it on to Arash now to give us, the closing with the fantastic music that you just did with the start. Thank you so much, Arash.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Gary. So we start. طاقت بیار پیش شنید خندیدن دلخواه رو تو زنده میمونی رفتی طاقت بیار این راه رو طوفان و پشت سر بذار اون سمت ما بادیه میمونی رفتی فردا پر از آزادیه طاقت بیار رفیق دنیا تو مشت ماست طاقت بیار رفیق خورشید پشت ماست طاقت بیار رفیق ما هر دو بی کسی طاقت بیار رفیق داری میرسی دنیا اگه تاریک شد دستای فانوسو بگیر با من بیا چیزی نمونده از مسیر سرما و سوز قلب کن آهسته پشت سر بذار امروز وقت خواب نیست ما با همین طاقت بیار رفیق دنیا تو مشت ماست طاقت بیار رفیق خورشید پشت ماست طاقت بیار رفیق ما هر دو کسی طاقت بیار رفیق داری میرسی طاقت بیار میشه شنید خندیدن دلخواه رو تو زنده میمونی رفیق طاقت بیار این راه رو طوفان و پشت سر بذار اون سمت ما آزادیه این زمزمه تو گوشمه فردا پر از آزادیه طاقت بیار رفیق دنیا تو مشت ماست طاقت بیار رفیق خورشید پشت ماست طاقت بیار رفیق ما هر دو بی کسی طاقت بیار رفیق داریم میرسی طاقت بیار رفیق. Thank you. طاقت بیار. Be patient, darling. Be patient.
Everyone should unmute and clap.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This brings us to the end. So I wish everyone to have a good evening, night, and looking forward to collaborate and hear more in the future. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.